Y'all know BC Index proclaimers don't make sense. I'm reviewing a video about a white couple accused of treating black adopted children like slaves. You cannot make this up. I'm telling you, you can't make it up. But you already know what time it is. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because it's
Be singing to me, can't you see? Yeah. Be singing to me, follow me, yeah. Be singing to me, can't you see? Yeah.
all right. Let's get right into it. Let's see what's going on with this story. This is just craziness.
It's no secret how deep racism goes in this country. Yet somehow we're still stunned by cases like the one we're bringing you tonight. We begin with a case out of West Virginia. Gene Whitefeather and Donald Lance, a white couple, are accused of treating their 5 adopted children like slaves. We know for sure 3 are black, according to the indictment. Prosecutors say the children were also targeted and adopted because of their race. The pair was arrested.
They really thought it was Black Friday when they went up to them adoption agencies. They watched too much of Django, 12 Years a Slave, Rosewood, whatever the case. It's just sad to me. These people are the modern day slave masters. And they just got 2 or 1 and said, man, I got to get me some more. I'm trying to have a whole plantation out here. Got whips and chains and everything else. Who knows? But this is really sad to me because people think racism has dissolved, that is no longer relevant, no longer prevalent, right? So when you think about it, realize one thing: it has changed, it has altered its approach. Read the Willie Lynch letter. They're no longer approaching racism the same. It's social engineering. It's economic racism. It's apartheid. It's genocide. When you look at the inner cities and the approach that they make towards black people with lack of resources, remember a lot of people have lack of money, especially generational, you could say poverty because of nepotism. And we can get into that in a whole another video, but this is a prime example of black kids being in the system and the things that's unseen brought to light.
Arrested last fall. This was after a wellness check turned into a reveal about the living conditions of the children. 2 of the children, 14 and 16 years old, were found living in a barn outside. Neighbors tipped law enforcement off. Deputies discovered there were limited resources in that barn. The teens only had a small porta potty, no running water, or a mattress. According to neighbors, the children were not allowed inside of the home, the main house, and had to do farm labor outside instead. Whitefeather denied.
Farm labor, plantation work, picking cotton and all types of crap out there. Who knows what's going on? A porta potty and a barn. I make this up. These 2 people look sick as hell. They look like they're related anyway. They like they 2 cousins got married in the old Alabama and them freaking swamps. Who knows what's going on? But this is just really sad to me. It's disturbing, and I'm glad that these 2 have been arrested, and they need to be under the dang jail. They need to get the death penalty.
The allegations and says the barn was simply a teenage clubhouse. Both Whitefeather and Lance are now behind bars as they wait for a trial to begin September 9th. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored, we have.
I ain't gonna go too deep into that because that's basically what they have for the story. But we can see further developments as it goes on. But this is just really cool. And I hope those kids, truly, truly get justice. I hope they get awarded money from the state, everything. Because when you think about it, this is just horrendous when you look at the certain things. Let's show that part of the
I'm not being on this show. I'm just flabbergasted. I have
area where they
really
had 'em.
nothing to say about how this is, but this is why we should take racism seriously. This is why when people talk about certain things, we should listen to them, because it's so easy to fall back into the trap of yesteryear when things.
Yes, a year, because people think, oh, because I don't visibly see anything. I don't notice anything because listen, in your everyday life, they got so many distractions, entertainment, your social media, all this stuff is used to hoodwink you, to distort your view of life. That black mirror. Pay attention to truth, be vigilant, and let's expose these people for what it is and start getting back to how we did it back then as a people, as a culture. Man, this is crazy.